with a longtime resident of Sangudo, Anne Lenko. Anne, I'm really happy to be here with you today, and I will ask you a lot of questions, and you just relax and say what comes to your mind. I'm going to start with going right back to your parents, of what you recall of them, and where they came from, where they lived before they came to Sangudo.
Well, I came from overseas. I don't know what state.
I had a little interruption there with the phone, but we'll go back to Anne with telling us what she knows about her parents.
Well, the both parents came from overseas. My dad and my mother's parents, and she was 8 years old when they moved to Slave Lake as immigrants and farmers. And my dad, I don't know, he wasn't a very talkative person at all. He didn't like talking about his past.
Okay, and so what can you tell me about when you first came to Sangudo? And
about 1937 or 1939, somewhere there. And I came from Edmonton. And when I got to Sangudo, what a difference in schooling. The teachers taught you what you should know, and when I heard her giving me the lessons, I just took off. I wasn't a dummy like I was in Edmonton. Like the kids there were not smart. That's what the teacher called them, dummies.
Oh boy. Now, how old would you have been when you started school at Sangudo? What grade do you recall?
Maybe 12, 13 years old.
Oh, okay.
I was still small. Yeah.
Tell us about your brothers and sisters.
I had 3 brothers and 1 sister, and they all had good education. My brother George worked for the government. He was a white-collar worker. My brother Fred took up some industrial thing where he worked with metal. And my younger brother, I just don't know what he did. I can't remember.
And your sister?
And
your sister?
Well, my sister worked for the city. She worked in the Edmonton City Hall.
What was her name?
Mary. Oh, so, you want the last name?
So, yes, tell us your last name and tell us where you are in relation to your siblings.
Well, I'm the oldest. And my brother George. My sister in there somewhere. And Fred. And Wally was the last one.
Okay. And your name was? Your last name was?
Popovich.
Popovich.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, when you came to Sangudo, I know that you lived right down there by the river and had to do with the ferry. Tell us about that.
About the ferry? Well, it was an interesting thing. I learned how to operate it when my dad was played out, I'd say. Like after school, I did the work on there. And it was run by water power on a cable. It was interesting. I met a lot of interesting people. And at nighttime, you had to charge them 2 bits. And you'd be surprised. One day I had a flashlight, and guess what? A preacher giving me, instead of 2 bits, one of those big pennies, because they were the size of 2 bits.
Oh,
Never did that again.
cheating you.
He was cheating. Yeah, it's surprising. But otherwise, no. We had, when the flood was on, took the bridge way down the river. There was buses. There was gas tankers. We could only take one on the gas tanker on the ferry because possibility of explosion or something. Otherwise, a bus and another vehicle you could squeeze in. But the big vehicles only one. And the dangerous ones were one. But it was all interesting people. And then we had, I remember, a couple of Mounties. They came from Edmonton. And they were looking for a gun that was supposed to have been thrown from off the railroad bridge into the water. They were trying to find it because that was a gun that had been used to kill a person. Never did find it. It took them weeks. They searched the river from down to so far down.
When the flood happened, did that affect your home as well?
Pardon?
Did the flood affect your home, the 1944 flood?
No, it didn't.
You were up high enough?
We lived on a higher piece of ground. But Dad sent all of us to the neighbors in Sangudo, and he stayed with the ferry and in the little cabin they had. No, there was no ice, no water allowed. Never come in. But it did affect a lot of people on that river.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, our family was one of them.
Oh, yes.
The Lowrys.
Yeah.
Yes. And what I missed here, Anne, is telling your birth date. What was your birth date?
My birthday?
Yes. When were you born? What's your birthday?
November 29, 1929.
Okay, so that makes you how old now? Is that 93? Or you won't be 93 till November. Let's see. This is 92, or sorry, 22. 6 years to go. You're showing at me 6 fingers.
No.
Oh, 96. 96. Okay, my math there was bad.
But I always tell everybody I'm only 69.
Yeah.
And they look
turn
at
it
me.
around.
And then some of them catch on right quick. Oh no, they said, you're 96, aren't you?
Okay, do you recall anything about your childhood? Did you have fun playing with friends down there by the river?
Well, we made friends actually in school. We had baseball and choir singing, things that occurred there, but never, most of the children had chores to do at home. And like myself, I used to stay there and help my dad run the ferry when he was tired out. And neighbors across the river, we'd go play with them. But no, it wasn't like it is nowadays. No.
And I will tell, just to help the viewers of the future, that where you lived and where that ferry was is where the picnic grounds is, or the sports grounds is now, or campgrounds it's called. And also a private place called Deep Creek that has more parking there now. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, let's move on to jobs that you had. I know you were a working girl when you met your husband-to-be.
Well, I started after school working for J.D. Skinner. He was printing press, and 2 other girls, and we set type, stories, people advertising locally, and we did this all after school. Turned money, and I bought my own clothes and school books. So that didn't affect Dad for anything extra. My sister didn't work yet. She wasn't old enough.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she did get work, she worked for Wiggins School. What the heck would they be called? A school. He was associated with
He was
schools.
the superintendent, I think, superintendent of the district, of the Sangudo district schools.
He was one that had a large territory to make sure that things went right with the schooling.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, no.
And then after you had another job later on with the store?
Yeah, I worked in the store. Yes. That was interesting. It was something I learned, and I don't know how my storekeeper, where he was at certain times, I'd go lock up the back totally so nobody could sneak in on me. And he'd come running in. And he wouldn't stop and talk to me. He'd be running over there because that man apparently was loading his pockets with tools.
Oh.
And you know what? They didn't get away with paying the price that was on those tools. Doubled or tripled.
Mm-hmm.
And they had to pay or else the police were called.
Mm-hmm.
And one time, he got 2 real expensive watches for Christmas. Okay, he told me. So I had the 2 cases. I put them front to front where the locks were to get in, but they were never locked. They were just... And a lady had stolen them. One. So he asked me and my other girl that was working with me, Adeline, did we take the watch? No way, no. But her and I thought, if they maybe didn't believe us.
Mm-hmm.
Took 2 years for his son to discover who was wearing that watch.
Oh my. Mm-hmm.
Okay. He went up, the boy went up, he says, what time is it? So he looked, and the boy said, but that's the watch that was stolen out of the case.
Ah.
And then afterwards, I don't know what they did with them.
Mm. So tell me about that storekeeping family. What was their name? And just...
Pardon? Oh, their names?
Yeah.
Oh, there was the boy that was Bucky Perrin. He had another name, but Bucky Perrin and his dad, and Irva was the mother, and they had a daughter, and they had a lassie. Lassie would come to the door, be a note in her mouth. I'd take the note, she'd let me take it. Okay, I've got to send some eggs and a pound of butter. The eggs didn't go in the carton. They went in the bag separately with the butter. I gave the dog the bag into her mouth. I folded, of course. Got her out the door and watched her go over the hump over to the house. And pretty soon, Lassie's home. Not an egg was broken, never.
Oh my.
Never chewed nothing up that I sent with her when she needed it.
my Aunt Lillian Ross tells about the Perrin family and Lassie in her book, Heavens to Betsy. Yeah, they were a wonderful family for Sangudo.
Yes.
Okay, so while you were working at the store, tell us about Sam next door.
Yeah, his barber shop was next door. Yeah. And I used to think, he'd be walking here, I'd be walking across the other street. Well, there was people there that they were British, and we called them, they're odd. So we'd see them coming. The lady wasn't bad, but the man, we'd cross the street. There was things, that I was already in my teens, but I was still leery of something like that.
Yeah.
So we avoided things.
Yeah.
Yes. And then I had the girlfriend, she was working at the time, and she was getting married within a few days, and I hadn't quite finished my high school. And I says, it's only so many days and I'll be finished. Can you work here and not get married so quick? She did that. So I was saved. I got my schooling. That's the main thing I thought. I have to have that. And it wasn't many days, and then she could go and get married.
Who was that, Anne? Was that Adeline Cowan?
Oh, no. This was a person by the name of Schlag.
Oh, okay.
They were from Rochford.
Oh.
Yeah, no, Adeline, she got married shortly. I think she got married after I did or got married before I did. I just don't know. Can't remember.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit more about Sam and his barber shop and pool hall too, wasn't it?
Oh, he had a good business. And pool was at that time, there wasn't too much entertainment. So pool was a good entertainment for people coming in to play pool. And barber shop, there was no barbers around. And he did that really, really good. And we went traveling locally, went fishing. I remember one time my brother Fred and I went to Windfall out here, and he got his hook stuck. And he says, Ann, get my hook off of the stuff that was stuck on. Okay, so here I was, walking back and forth, jiggling the hook. Pretty soon, it moved. Okay, it says it's coming. I said, it's coming? No, it stopped. So I go walking again. Finally, it did come. I says, here, take your damn hook. I said, I've got it loose. I says, get over here. Of course, I didn't use very nice language. And get this fish.
Oh, my goodness.
But I can't remember the name of them. It wasn't a grayling, and it wasn't. It was it wasn't a burbot, a brook trout or something like that.
Oh.
Big. And then when we got home, Sam took him and the fish down the street and said he was telling the people, look at what my son-in-law, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Or brother-in-law?
Brother-in-law, I mean, caught when he was fishing. It was a big one. So when he went home, they had fish. Oh, but.
Yeah.
And at that time, I could eat fish. Now I can't.
Oh, yeah.
I'm allergic.
Oh, allergic. Oh,
Yeah.
not just the bones. But,
So,
yeah. Okay, so your life with Sam. Tell us about your children.
well, I had
And
2 children, Philip and Alan. Philip was about 10 years difference between him and Alan. They went to school in Sangudo, and there Alan had hit one of these dumb teachers, or the teacher that would say he's dumb.
mm,
So I went to the principal and I said, I want him with this other teacher. So he got her. And he took off in his math. Come, they gave him all the kids a test. And they accused him of cheating.
oh dear.
And he didn't. He caught on the way it was supposed to be. The other teacher, he couldn't make hinder sense out of it.
Oh dear.
So I said, okay, you can stop taking school because you're not in Sangudo now, get somebody that can trust you. So he took up with Oil Patch. And he's smarter now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you see, you hit a bad, well, I'll tell you what that bad teacher was.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes a big difference in a child's life.
Yeah, well, he had, what do you call those people? They weren't male what? You know?
Yeah, I don't know. So where are your 2 sons now?
One is living on the No Jack Road. He's got a farm, but it's not a farm. They just live in there. It's theirs. He's got 2 big gardens, lots of wild critters.
Is that Philip?
Yeah. And Alan works here out at the airport. He lives right in town. But he can't help me as much. Philip and Judy, that's his wife, come and take me to the shopping at the store. Yesterday I had to go to the doctor. And then things like that.
Yeah,
But
nice.
the youngest, and then he's driving a truck that he says you can't get into it.
Oh, yeah.
So there's another setback.
Yeah. Do you have grandchildren?
Oh yeah. At first there was 6 great grandsons. And one of the granddaughters said to me one day, I'm going to try for a girl. I said, you won't get it. It'll be a boy. It's a girl.
Oh, finally.
So I got 1 great-granddaughter and 6 great-grandsons.
Yeah, nice.
So she broke the spell.
Yeah. Okay, let's go back to your younger years in Sangudo and telling us a little more about what the village was like and what were there for businesses and
the village had
fun.
A lot of businesses, and then they started dwindling away. First one was the creamery, and then there was the water tank for the trains. Didn't need the water anymore. The seed houses, the lumber yards, the vehicles. And what else? Oh yes, the dray vehicles that did with the horses. Dray.
Yeah. Sweet Andersons
went to the freight off the train and delivered it to the stores wherever it had to go. And then the blacksmith went. It just fell apart. But it didn't die out. There's still people there.
Oh yes.
But they haven't got all businesses.
No.
So, but then there's vehicles now. They can drive to Edmonton. They can drive to Maythorpe, Barhead. Barhead was a good shopping place, and Sangudo had just the one store. It had a drugstore now. I don't know if it's still there, and it had cafes. Went because there was too many cafes for a little place.
There are still two.
Yeah.
And a drugstore.
And a drugstore, yeah.
And two grocery stores. One grocery store now, but in your day there were two grocery stores?
Three, actually.
Oh, yes, because Skinner had his cash market.
Yes, yeah. Yes, it was very good. And people were happy. We had a lot of business in the store. And, oh yeah. But now, all the things that went into moderation, vehicles and grocery shopping went back to cards. It's just...
What about any pastimes? What did folks do for fun and sports and dances?
For fun, I did a lot of traveling. Not, well, Washington and my oldest and I was constantly going to Vancouver, from Vancouver to Washington and back home. And we went to a lot of places. And then when my younger son came along, we started going up into the Yukon with all the gold claims and stuff. Where actually, Sam and I had gold claims out there. And then when our partner, he drowned in the river, so Sam gave up to his son, gave up the claims. He still works the claims in the summertime. In the wintertime, he's working for a company. But in the summer, he works for himself.
Okay. And Sam was in the gravel business too, was he not?
Oh, yeah. He did good in that. But Sam was one that he had to try all kinds of businesses. He wasn't satisfied with one or two. I think what he liked doing is making sure the other person can earn some money.
Good.
You know, he thought about the other person. Because some of the war stories he told me, wow. 213, okay.
So he served in the Second World War.
Yeah. Yeah, he was in Egypt, in France, the Netherlands. Did I say Germany?
No.
And then when he had got yellow jaundice, they sent him into Egypt to a hospital there. And then, Italy. Italy was more of his wartime was Italy. And they had to go, they got mules, donkeys, and they had to pack dynamite to the advance parties. And the only way they could get up is through the mountains. And they had these animals, and they could be stubborn, but they never got shot at. And they shot a church up when they got there. They knew the Germans were hiding in that church, so they had to shoot it up. And they got him. And one time he said he was walking along, and he had seen a troop, not a full troop, but a partial troop of Germans. So he had his what is it they throw?
A hand grenade? A grenade?
Hand grenade in his hand, and the leader there had his gun in his hand. And he looked at Sam, and Sam, ready, ready, ready. Because if he threw it, he'd be dead too, but he'd wipe out. So the German said something to him. They turned around left.
Oh, wow.
And he, of course, didn't put his...
Didn't pull the pin.
Didn't pull the pin, no. So it's touch and go in some of these things that they did.
Yeah.
But when they told the stories, whoa, I'm glad I forgot them.
Yes, yeah, it was hard for them to tell, even. Okay, a little bit about church.
Yes, I was a teacher. I was a secretary for the treasury for the Sunday school, taught Sunday school, and I went to church too.
And tell us which church. Tell us which church.
Oh, United Church. And at that time, there was a priest by the name of Morgan, and another one, Tuttle was another one, and his wife was a terrific singer. And the other one that moved to Victoria. No, they moved to a place called Port Hardy.
Oh, yes, on the island.
Yeah. Yes, and I went to see them. Oh, we had a lot of good school teachers, but then I wasn't going to school then. The boys were, and no, I can't say anything bad about Sangudo.
Great. Okay, how about politics? Were you into politics in your home?
Sam and I were involved in politics. We did more traveling by plane to Ottawa, to Winnipeg, when big conventions were. And at that time, that's years ago, people were very honest. I had left my purse on the counter without realizing it till hours later that I didn't have my purse. Our tickets are there. At $50, I had one at bingo playing those pull tickets. And so I thought, well, this is the last time I come and check the lost and found room. Oh, I said, that's my purse. So the guy handed the purse. He says, you take everything out and see if anything's missing. Well, the first thing I took out was a pair of gloves, but I never thought about the gloves not being mine. I took out everything. Wow, my $50 were there. Our plane tickets were there. My spending money was there. I said, that's my bag. But I kept pulling everything back till I got to the gloves. Here, I said, take these. They're not mine. What I think I done was I left it when I was registering for the... Because there's nowhere else I had gone that I thought that was the only place that I had. So that's where. And I phoned the airlines. See, we get a full plane load, special. I couldn't get the special. I had to take regular. price for the tickets. So, you know, when I was going through there and everything was there, and I thought, oh, the tickets, that was the one thing, you know, that saved my life.
That's good. Okay, my next question is about health and the medical system back in the day. Did you get any of those diseases, the communicable diseases that went around? Like,
yes, like the measles and the chicken pox, is it? And I never had too much trouble with stuff like that. My sister was more prone to those things. And
what about getting hurt? Any accidents? Any of your family had to go and get Tina Langston's help?
No.
No?
No. We didn't get hurt, no. Actually, another thing too was when Philip was born, and this was in the Royal Alec. No, it was the Misericordia, the old Misericordia. Right out there in the there. And I woke up in the morning, and the doctor was talking to me, and he says, "You got a boy." And I says, "You're a liar." He says, "Anne, feel your tummy." I said, "You mean I got a boy?" And he says, "Yeah, because I told him I didn't want a girl." And the one in the other, he fooled, and he come and he's doing this to this grin on his face. "You got a girl." I looked at him, but I didn't call him no names. I says, "No, I got a boy, haven't I?" Well, he says, "Yeah." No. But there was not dirty things that went on. Our dad was mean in a sense that he said, "If you do anything wrong, you see this, well, take it out of here and we'll use it." He never did. No. But he threatened us. He said, "If you can't buy it, you don't steal it." We were taught not to steal or take anything that didn't belong to us. And you know, I still think that. But I think, I should buy that. But do I really need it? Want it? No. But I have money to buy it. But it just, all of a sudden, didn't appeal. It's funny how you grow up.
It is. Okay, tell us about your current living here, what it's like. When, do you recall what year you first moved into this lodge?
Well, I wouldn't have been here if it wasn't for the doctor. And he says, "I know you. You're going to go out there and you're going to sweep snow, do this, do that." "No, you're not." "Where do you want to go?" Well, there was Barhead, there was Maythorpe, and there was here. Well, the kids were here. Well, I said, "You know, the two boys are at Whitecourt." "About it?" Well, he says, "Pretty hard to get rooms at any of these lodges. They're full up." But I said, "Then I want Whitecourt because my boys can come with me, visit me." He phoned me. He says, "Get ready. You're booked for Whitecourt." Next day, what I tell you, when you leave a 5-room house with about 4 clothes closets full of clothing. I got mine too here, packed full. I was a spendaholic on clothes. That was my treat.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm here. There's nothing here in Whitecourt.
Mm-hmm.
I used to, when I traveled to, well, the last 12 years or so, my oldest son and I, we traveled to Washington because he's got a cottage on Lopez Resort. And that's an island with ocean all around it.
Mm-hmm.
And go shopping there. I got a lot of clothes there from there that I bought. Now, I got a lot of knitting.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I
You
knit.
do. Yeah.
I got one. I'm trying to finish the knit for this one. It's there yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm reading those books
Mm-hmm.
because I'm reading the Pelly book. I think it's under there.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Shouldn't do that.
Yeah, that one
All
is.
right.
That is
Okay.
interesting.
Oh, I see. On Pelly River.
Yeah.
Where is Pelly River?
Well, that's
in the Yukon. Looks like.
Yes. We passed that umpteen dozen times. But I remember Pinto, and then the next one was Selkirk. And when we got out of Selkirk, maybe a half a mile or so, and then, all right, this is the highway. The Selkirk is here. So that way goes to, I think it was Mayo. This one goes to Dawson City. And then travel on that Yukon River. And I'm steering the barge as he's filling up the motors with gasoline before we run out. And I'm watching black bears up on the side of a mountain. All of a sudden I heard, Anne, what do you think you're doing? What? Boy, I eased the motor off the sandbar I was heading to.
Oh.
Boy, if we got it stuck on that sandbar, we'd have had a heck of a time getting out.
So was this when you were gold mining up in the Yukon?
Yeah. We were on the Yukon River.
Oh.
And the one time we were on it, and it was a high river, and you should have seen the junk we had to miss on that river that was flowing down. And then she was French. She had a store there, and she said, you know, I'm going to be having to move out. This is the third or fourth time they were expecting a flood. Sure enough, when we came up, the next time, we found her house way down the river onto the shore. That was Burian, that's what her name was. And she had to get off the cripple, and she had to leave that. And then lots of things that I've been reading about, different stories about the library here. Is the gal there that knows what I want. She brings me the books.
Oh, nice.
I've read all kinds of stories. And the one I had read last was, oh my God. I'm on top of the world. Well, I was there. I'm going all the way down. And we're getting on the ferry and back into Dawson City. It was a different couple doing the things that we had done. Sam and I.
Yeah.
But the most interesting thing was, on top of the world, you sat there in the car, all these tops of the mountains. You'd think there was 100 or 200 of them, all the way around, and the road highway was right on top of those mountains and going down. And one spot we hit, snow came down, and hail at the top.
And this is in the summer?
No, it wasn't summer. It was still in the summertime.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And it was the most, really, if I was in better health, I wouldn't mind doing that trip again. Back in the, on the gold claims.
Yeah.
And that's...
How did you do with your gold mining?
So-so. We didn't stay there that long because Sam would be barbering. So he took, we had Charlie Sherrington would run the pool room. It would take 2 weeks or 3 weeks off. Oh yeah, we did find pieces of stuff, all right. But, I mean, you have to be there day in and day out and have a bigger equipment. We did it with a shovel only.
Oh.
Just for the fun of it.
Yeah. Hey, Anne, what would you say over the years in your lifetime are the major changes that have just made life so different?
Well, there has been a lot of changes in this world, a lot. A lot of equipment, different ways of doing things, our TVs, our system of teaching children with computers, things like that, which we never expected to see. And all the stuff that's been going up in the air, ruining our atmosphere, and they're blaming it on carbon. During the back years, you think everybody had coal and wood, and there was no problem. I don't recall any problem.
There weren't the big industries, though, that were using so much.
But now, it's so different. It's all right in a sense, but it's speeding up.
Yes.
People's bye-bye. You're right. New days, like now, May is the 11th today. Where has that 11 days gone? Now, when we went picking blueberries on Howard's place, we'd take a big bucket, we'd go and have that full, so sometimes we were coming home in dusk already. But now, that's being all tore up for farming. Your berries are not like they were years ago, where the Saskatoons were big. Now even the blueberries are little tiny things. It's just chemically terrible. Oh yes, in the place where we went fishing that time, we got that big one Fred did. That had a sulfur plant. So we went out there one time afterwards. You think we do have otherwise of little tiny minnows following your hook. You look down on the water, there was nothing. The water was polluted with them chemicals on the bottom of different colors. No fish. So you see what modernization is done actually for the whole world. It's destroying. And they think it's great when you have it. It's not. It's
okay, Anne. Well, it's been a delight hearing your story. I hope we haven't missed anything important. If there's anything important that you can think of that I've missed asking.
A what?
You think there's anything important in your life that I've missed asking about? If there's anything comes to mind?
No, because I've been happy with what I've done all my life.
Good.
You know, whatever I followed by the parents or by my own there. I still got my computer.
Right.
And I like reading those kind of books. Those dime ones, I call them 2-bit ones. You read one, forget it. Danielle Steele, there's another one. And I'm a fan of the Queen.
Oh.
Well, like you didn't see that?
She must be about the same age as you.
I know, but I'm 7 months older than she is.
Oh.
You didn't see that picture by the door?
No. Is it you with the Queen?
No, you just take it. He's got red hair.
Oh.
Archie has red hair.
Oh, okay.
And Lilybeth, Lilybeth,
yes,
she's got a few hair. She's going to be a total redhead.
Oh.
And they're both white.
Harry's children, right? Meghan and Harry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. So.
Well, that's nice. Okay, well, I think we're going to wrap it up now and say goodbye and thank you so much.
Well, I hope there's enough interesting stuff to write about.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah. We'll be, I hope that there'll be people having a look at this video for many years to come.
Yes.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of people I know have passed away.
Yes, and we want to do this while you're still alive and well and knowing what you're saying.
I hope I can live another 4 years to make enough socks for my great-grandkids and just be me.
Yeah, good. Good for you, Anne. Okay.
It depends.
Yeah.
When he calls you.
Yeah, when he calls you.
Yeah.
Okay, Anne, thanks so much.
Yes.
Bye-bye now.
I wouldn't give you no stories about what I have seen and gone through as I lived.
Okay,
I got 2 pieces of paper I could have shown you if I wanted. Yeah, but I don't know where I put them. And I was going to send them to Edmonton. And the other day I took a glance at the journal. Oh, they're at it again. And here I got 2 pieces of paper they'd be interested in.
And who's they?
Something in the sky.
Oh. UFOs, you mean? Aliens? And you saw at one time? Did you have a sighting?
Did you see some too?
No, I never did, but my mother-in-law did. Mabel did. Yes.
I saw one set, and this was in this was at High Ridge. And I saw 2 of them. And it was just like they were traveling. Wow. And these pictures that I have, hand drawn, of course. And it was taken in must have been 2020. I think. And there's other things I've seen. And there's reopening up the case of Bigfoot.
Yes.
But I've never run up to that. never saw Bigfoot.
No.
But when we was traveling through northern California, there's cedars humongous. You can't see the sky.
No.
So I kept looking. I thought, gee, this is the typical type of thing. You'd see a squash.
Yeah.
Never.
Never did.
So,
Yeah.
but it was something that you don't like to talk about because people don't believe you.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Well, you're very believable, Anne.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go with you to catch
Okay.
colors.
Yeah, we'll head on down there. Okay,
No,
thank you again, Anne, and goodbye.
Bye.